I don't know about you, but whenever I get to a new place, I love the idea of being able to see behind the scenes, through the doors or down the stairwells. But obviously, far too polite to ask. But today, I've got a licence to be nosy. Hello, you. Hello, old friend. Just off the high street, hidden from prying eyes, tiers of back-to-back houses were built into Whitby's steep cliffs to house fishing families. Passages known to locals as the Yards, Whitby's best-kept secret. Wow. Hey, Joyce.
Hello.
It's a secret hidden world down here, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Joyce Stango lives in Linskill Square. She's letting me in on the secret lives of Whitby's once crowded yards.
There was 17 listed accommodations here. There was reputed to have been one family of 14 lived in number 1 at one time.
You can see why the yard would have become an extension of the home then if you had 14 people in there.
There used to be baths, tin baths, hung outside the houses, so the kids would actually bath outside sometimes and then just tip the water down the drain.
Remarkable. So there could possibly have been 200, maybe more, just in this little area here.
Oh, easily.
Back then, Whitby was one of Britain's most important whaling ports. Streets were packed with fishermen whose lifeblood was the sea. It must have been quite noisy and smelly with so many people.
Oh, it would have been very smelly at one time, particularly when the whaling industry was in full swing, because they were boiling the blubber and the smell must have been horrendous. And you can imagine it with all the coal fires and the soot being produced.
Life in the yards was tough, insanitary, poor. But one thing these communities did have: each other.
I had a neighbour that lived in number 8 for over 50 years, and she showed me a photograph of the yard celebrating VE Day, and that shows the amount of people that you can fit into one yard.
Right.
It's absolutely amazing.
They've even managed to squeeze in a table.
Well, this was a celebration day.
There's never enough biscuits to go around.
I know. Would have been nice to be in there.
So what became of those back-to-back houses? These days, the yards are transformed. Say goodbye to the slums. Hello. Hello. Hi. In Clark's yard, Joy Peach is one of the lucky few to have a garden. Hi, Joy.
Hello, Ellie.
How are you?
Hello. Good to see you.
You too. I was not expecting gardens in the yards.
Right, well, there are only 2 yards, I think, which have gardens. And we have gardens because originally there was a 3-storey terrace of cottages here. It would have been a dark, dismal yard, just this wide, with, 3 stories each side. It would have been dreadful. But fortunately, they were all knocked down in the slum clearance in the 20s, 30s, whatever. So we're each left with a garden.
You made full use of it as well. It's like a Chelsea Best in Show.
It's heaven, basically, heaven.
Heaven on earth. Whitby's secret maze of alleyways are a real revelation. And I've heard there's still more treasure tucked away.
Hi, Ellie.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Christoph is kindly pointing me to a special view of Whitby the yards reveal.
If you go to the top of these steps, but don't run,
Oh, I really won't be, I can assure you of that.
you can then look down on this side of Church Street. You can see how amazing the yards are. There's a yard behind that house. There's a yard behind my house. And so they go on, yeah.
So all the way up here. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
See you later. I've been to Whitby loads of times, but I had no idea that away from all this hustle and bustle of the harbour side were all these alleyways leading to stories of the past. Now that is a view. Thank goodness some of them have remained to tell us about their secret lives.